By virtue of the powers entrusted to me as acting Vice Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in a silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this occasion tonight. We may get seated. Good evening, Riperile, Huenand, Lokovela. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. We can do better. We are in a celebratory mood. We are in a celebratory mood, and we also welcome the rains that are coming at this time. Our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Puleng Linkabula, members of the Council, Executive Management, College Management, staff, friends, and parents. Good evening. We also want to send a special greeting to our graduates tonight. Good evening. I'm not going to ask you how do you feel, but I know that you are feeling somewhere. Indeed, it is a profound honor to stand before you today, not only as an acting Vice Principal, Teaching and Learning and Community Engagement, but also to officiate in this august occasion, whereby the University of South Africa, University of the Land, is saying to you, welcome to the world of graduates. Indeed, when you made a choice to study with University of South Africa, we don't think you ever regretted a moment. And for us, we want to congratulate you and say, you have stayed the course and now you must get your award. Congratulations. Of course, you also need to be aware that the institution that you are graduating from, University of South Africa, we call it University of the Land because it has become part and parcel of the DNA of this country, South Africa, but even beyond its borders. As I'm talking tonight, we've got a delegation of university staff that will be graduating 53 students in Ethiopia on Saturday. Can we give that a hand? And we also say you are graduating from the institution that have produced great leaders. And yes, of course, great leaders like you. Give yourself a big hand. If you don't believe that you are a great leader, you believe that you are on the way to great leadership. This is the institution that produced the father of our democracy, President Nelson Mandela. Dr. Thabo Mbeki is also a product of this university. I can even mention the current president, President Cyril Ramaphosa. They all graduated from this institution. So it means tomorrow you can brag and say, I came from the home of leaders. I come from the university that produced leaders. Can we give that a hand? And we know that you have worked very hard to be where you are today. And we congratulate you. We also appreciate the fact that you are here tonight. I'm looking at my colleagues in the red gowns. I think when you woke up this morning, you were called a Mr. or a Mrs. But I can assure you that after walking this stage, you'll be called a doctor. Can you give yourself a big hand? We are proud that you have walked this journey up to this far. And you make us proud as an institution, as a university of the land. We can even attest that this year we graduated about 542 doctors, PhDs. And about 800 master's degrees. And hence, we are also saying we are doing our good, more especially in terms of saying higher education should be for the public good. And I can tell you that tonight, you are going to change your families, you are going to change your communities, because that is what this institution gave you. Welcome. I want also to acknowledge our academia, really, who spend sleepless nights trying to assist you. And I know that some of us who come from the old school, we know that when students pass, it is because they are good. And when they fail, it is because of the teacher. Oh. We hope we are not of that generation. I want to acknowledge the registrar, Dr. Likubu, Deputy Governance Registrar, Dr. Nodi, part of our protocol this evening. I also want to welcome all college representatives, College of Law, Prof. Mantwan, and Professor Mutapuri, College of Human Sciences, Professor Tlali and Professor Jacobs, College of Economic and Management Sciences, Dr. Maschava, College of Science, Engineering and Technology, Professor Due, College of Environmental Sciences, Professor Nkosi, College of Education, Professor Tabane, Professor Mudau, College of Accounting Sciences, Mr. S. Mgatni. We also proudly want also to welcome College of Graduate School of Business Leadership, Professor Tlasa. And as I indicated, that colleagues, those that are sitting at the front in red gowns, as a university, we also want to ensure that really you have made it, you have done your thesis. I want to welcome all supervisors here tonight. Welcome, and we appreciate what you do. The supervisors are going to read your citation so that we can check that you have not plagiarized. We welcome you. We welcome all the supervisors. Graduate division who make all this arrangement, we appreciate. Institutional advancement, human resources, facilities, and multimedia. As we are saying, this graduation event is being broadcast almost on all social media channels. So colleagues that know will recognize you as you walk the stage. A special word of welcome to Professor Munyakane, who is going to deliver the Chancellor's address. Ladies and gentlemen, just few house rules. This is a big moment for all of us, for all of you. We kindly request that when you walk on the stage, when you get to the podium after handing your name, please do look at the camera there, because we want to capture this moment. It's a moment that's never repeated. And when you walk across the stage, you will be kept by the VC, by the acting VC. That is just to say, now you can call yourself a graduate of UNISA. At the far right-hand side, you'll get Dr. Likubu, also who will make you stand and face the camera so that we can take this popular picture, because you are the most important person in the room tonight. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call upon Professor Munyakane to deliver the Chancellor's address.
The Chancellor of the University of South Africa, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, in absentia, the Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Puleng Lingabula, in absentia, UNISA Council members, Management Committee, Extended Management Committee, members of staff, parents, esteemed guests, and of course, our dear graduates. Good evening. Dima Dengwana, Renald, Habari, Manheru, Riperile, Dumelang, Sani Bonani, Khotsong, Molweni. It is indeed both humbling and joyous responsibility to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our distinguished graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates, amongst us, we have graduates who were supposed to graduate in 2021. And of course, in my speech, you shouldn't be surprised when I refer in most cases to them. I am honored to extend heartfelt congratulations on the successful completion of your diplomas, degrees, and doctorates, and to wish each of you continued reflection, growth, and success as you step into the next chapter of your lives. Today marks the culmination of an important journey in your academic lives. While you have completed your current qualifications, please know that your connection with the University of South Africa, as Dr. Chivas has indicated, does not end here. You are now part of the esteemed alumni of South Africa, a community built on excellence, leadership, and service. With this honor comes great responsibility, as the world looks upon you with high expectations. The years 2019 and 2020 brought about profound changes in the way we live, as well as challenges in the way we work and interact with one another. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted nearly every aspect of human life, leaving no corner of the world untouched. Its impact was deeply felt, not only in global economies and institutions, but also on a personal level. For many of you, it meant missing out on traditional celebrations of your hard-earned achievements in 2021. I remember in 2021, I came to graduate in this hall with a mask on, which was quite peculiar. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, we witnessed resilience, innovation, and transformation. These challenging times have sparked new ways of thinking and being, laying the foundation for positive change that continues to shape our present and our future. Indeed, the saying rings true: every cloud has a silver lining, and perhaps in this case, there was a rainbow waiting at the end of the storm. Looking back, the global pandemic exposed deep inequalities, both between nations and within them. It became painfully clear that many countries, especially those in the low and middle income brackets, lacked the pharmaceutical infrastructure. We were also experiencing such in South Africa, as well as vaccine manufacturing capabilities were missing in South Africa. We were not able to respond effectively. For large populations in these regions, access to life-saving vaccines and medicine was limited, not because of lack of need, but because of immense cost of importing supplies from more advanced economies. We became poorer. As a result, many African nations, among others, had no choice but to rely heavily on foreign aid to secure vaccines. This experience served as a wake-up call. It highlighted the urgent need for self-sufficiency, hence why we have this kind of graduates before us today. For nations to build their own pharmaceutical industries and produce vaccines locally, avoiding the high costs and delays associated with dependency, they had to produce quality graduates. It was also during this time that institutions of higher learning alongside governments recognized their crucial role in this mission. A clear understanding emerged that we must invest in training the next generation of scientists and medical experts, future leaders in pharmaceutical innovation, to ensure that we are never caught unprepared again in the face of another pandemic. We are not leaving behind the production of quality policy makers As we gathered here today, we have law graduates who are expected to be quality policy makers. Simultaneously, we witnessed another silver lining, the rapid and, in many cases, mandatory transition of artificial intelligence and web-based technologies. The Internet of Things, or IoT, has become an integral part of our everyday reality, transforming how we communicate at work and how we deliver services. As we know in South Africa, service delivery is one of our main challenges, and hence why we have you, dear graduates, in spaces to transform the issues of service delivery. One such example was the legal system in South Africa. Traditional processes such as the physical serving of court documents and in-person court hearings have been replaced with digital platforms like case lines, as you know. This transformation allowed for greater efficiency and reduced costs. In fact, an attorney in Johannesburg can now brief an advocate in the Western Cape and have an urgent application heard within hours, something that was previously unthinkable. This is just one example of the many sweeping changes AI has brought across various professions, changes that you, our graduates, have witnessed and will continue to build upon. So as you step into the world beyond these walls, remember, you are entering a future shaped by the lessons of the past and driven by the innovations of the present. Whether in medicine, technology, or law, your role is not just to participate, but to lead. With all the remarkable achievements we have witnessed in recent years, from technological backgrounds to shifts in global health and education, it's now more important than ever before, as graduates of University of South Africa, to reflect on our role and responsibility in this changing world. UNISA has always stood before more than just academic excellence. It aims to shape thinkers, innovators, and problem solvers who will contribute meaningfully to the future of Africa and the whole world, and by extension, to the future of the whole world. We are part of a broader vision, a vision rooted in justice, transformation, and the power of education to uplift societies. As graduates from the Global South, a region comprising some of the world's most dynamic emerging economies, we are part of a powerful movement to rethink global partnership and reimagine sustainable development. That is why the G20 was held in South Africa. That is how powerful South Africa is. South Africa, in particular, continues to emerge as a leader in the African continent, bearing significant responsibility in both economic and geopolitical spheres. This is where we, the intellectuals and professionals of tomorrow, sitting in this hall today, must now step forward, and yet we cannot ignore the stark inequalities that persist within our own borders, as well as within Africa, as well as in the whole world. As of 2021, for example, only about 25.2% of South Africans have completed a university qualification. I repeat, a university qualification. That statistic is more than just a number. It's a call for action. Being among the 25% places a profound responsibility on our shoulders. It means that we are not only beneficiaries of knowledge, but we must also be agents of change. One of our most significant tasks is to create opportunities, jobs, mentorship, community projects for those who, despite their potential, did not have the chance to graduate alongside us. Many of them were the very people who supported us, our parents, siblings, neighbors, and friends. They carried us through our studies, often sacrificing their own dreams so we could achieve ours. These individuals should never be viewed as burdens or reduced to what some refer to as black tax. I repeat, they should never be viewed as black tax. On the contrary, they are pillars of our success, and it is only fair and just that they benefit from the knowledge we have gained. Genuine progress will come when we, as educated individuals, choose humility over ego and seek to build meaningful partnerships with our communities. We must also recognize the broader challenges that define our times. A world grappling with injustice, inequality, and untransformed legal and economic systems. We see it in the ongoing conflicts before states, the trial and error nature of global multilateral agreements, and the often contradictory conventions meant to bring peace and progress. But in these turbulent times, we have a choice to sit back or to step up. Let us choose the latter. Let us live here today, not just as graduates, but as change makers, ready to carry forward the legacy of UNISA, prepared to uplift our communities, and ready to build a more equitable, united, and forward-looking Africa as well as the world. Fellow Unisans, even when the road ahead may seem complex and the solutions burdensome, what is expected of you remains clear and very much within your reach. You now carry with you the spirit, culture, and values of UNISA, a legacy that has come an integral part of your identity. You are graduates of an institution that stands for excellence, resilience, and the empowerment of the African continent. Through your degrees, you haven't just acquired academic knowledge. You have been shaped by a unique educational culture rooted in the realities and aspirations of Africa. As you look back, you must acknowledge that Africa is immensely rich, not just in minerals, but in people, in skills, and in potential. Yet, despite this wealth, economic decline and inequality remain persistent challenges in Africa. That is why the continent needs more than just professionals. It needs intellectuals and visionaries who can stand at the sharp edge of the progress and fight for change. The future demands specialized thinkers and doers, the kind of leaders who are seated here today, graduates who are not only educated but also socially responsible. Those who reject selfish ambition in favor of community upliftment, who understand that success is not truly success unless it is shared. Let us never forget that we are here today not only because of our own efforts, but because of those who walked with us, families, mentors, friends, and even strangers whose sacrifices, encouraged, and support made this moment possible. In most cases, you find that some of us have been given sponsorship by people who you don't even know of. There is an African proverb that says, I am because you are. And today, as we receive our degrees, let us hold that truth in our hearts. A reminder that our success is a reflection of the communities that raised us, and a call to serve those communities in return. Armed with your degree and knowledge, you have gained. You are now well equipped to contribute meaningfully to the development of law, justice, economic status, and human dignity, both here at home and across the globe. Let us hold high our qualifications. Let them be enablers and launch pads to unlock our full potential. You are called to be more than job seekers. You are called to be more than job seekers. You are expected to be innovators, leaders, and agents of transformation. Africa needs visionaries, individuals bold enough to imagine a different future and courageous enough to make it happen. And those individuals are sitting right here among us today. Through your efforts, there must be a real and lasting shift in the fortunes of our country, our region, and indeed our world. As our beloved father of the nation, President Nelson Mandela once said, it is in your hands. It is indeed in your hands to close the gaps of inequality, to dismantle poverty, to build bridges towards prosperity and inclusion. You now carry the baton of success. Run your race with purpose. Strive to build a more just society, not just for some, but for all. Help shape a tomorrow where every South African, every African, and every global citizen can thrive in dignity and equality. Congratulations, class of 2021 and 2025. The continent is watching and it is counting on you. The future begins with you and it starts now. Once again, congratulations to everyone. May your journey ahead be marked by purpose, courage, and continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Munyakane, for the reminding us of where we come from and also the critical matter that if humanity is united, we can succeed. If we take care of each other, we can prosper. And indeed, this university is one of the global players. From where we are standing currently, we know that in this country, out of the 26 universities, we are rated as number 8. That's a great achievement for this university. And also, we are encouraged that as graduates, we are not going to forget where we come from. Thank you, Prof. Munyakane. Ladies and gentlemen, we appeal to you that we are going to start with the ceremony now. We request all of us not to leave the hall before we finish this ceremony. We are not going to take time. The first graduate that walks on the stage will get an applause. Equally so, the last graduate that walks on the stage also needs that applause. We kindly request us to start this ceremony together and finish it together. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the university on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Mule Catherine Patswani for the degree of Doctor of Laws. I request his supervisor, Ms. B. Vambe, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled Transformative Constitutionalism and the Need to Reform Appointment of Presiding Officers by Employers in South African Disciplinary Hearing, a comparative study, she questions the role of employers in appointing presiding officers in labor disputes. She argues that this inequality disadvantages the employees. The study finds that the interpretation of the role of the employers is at variance with the word, spirit, and purport of the Constitution. She recommends a reform of the provisions of the Constitution. The study contributes to promoting equal rights of representation before the law in a constitutional democracy. Thank you.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Mule Catherine Patswani the degree of Doctor of Laws.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Laws on Mule Catherine Patswana. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Vasha Sulal for the degree of Doctor of Laws. In his absentia, I shall read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled The Impact of Information and Communication Technology Law and Policy on Sustainable Development in Emerging Economies, she examines the potential of information communication technology, ICT, legislations, regulations, and policies to act as catalysts for sustainable economic development in emerging economies. Through a comparative analysis of legislative frameworks in South Africa, Brazil, India, and Singapore, she investigates critical aspects such as universal service and access, broadband, spectrum management, and interconnection. The thesis also examines the impact of privacy, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity on the digital agenda. Her findings underscore the pivotal role of effective ICT regulation in achieving Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and bridging the digital divide. The study makes a valuable contribution to the field by proposing a practical framework for South Africa's digital transformation, drawing upon the international best practices to leverage ICTs for sustainable development while addressing specific local challenges. This framework transcends its national origins and offers valuable tools for propelling economic growth through the strategic use of ICT on a global scale. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Vasha Salal the degree of Doctor of Laws.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Laws on Vasha Siwal. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Joseph Tlatswayo for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Prof. W. F. M. Late, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis titled The Incarceration of Youth Offenders and in the New Generation Youth Correctional Centers in South Africa, he examines the rehabilitation tools tailor-made for youth offenders incarcerated in these new youth correctional centers. His work fills a critical gap by proposing targeted rehabilitation intervention tools, including treatment programs focused on the risks and security challenges. The findings highlight risk factors, including correctional officials, professional staff, other role players, and correctional environmental influences that shape the youth offender's conduct. Based on the findings, he developed a model to address youth offender behavioral paths. He recommends a multidisciplinary framework designed to strengthen the rehabilitation of youth offenders to become law-abiding and responsible citizens after reintegration into the community.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Joseph Tlatswayo the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Joseph Tlatswayo. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Tendai Chirimaunga for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor D.E. Mutasa, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In the absence of the supervisor, I shall then proceed to read the citation. In his thesis entitled An Investigation of Chibarwe Verbal Affixations with Special Reference to Form and Function, he explores the ontological, epistemological, axiological, and pedagogical nature of research and delves into the form and function of valency changing derivational affixes found in Chibarwe stative. Using the lexical functional grammar and its subtheory, lexical mapping theory, he concludes that the applicative and the causative are valency increasing affixations, whereas the reciprocal, the passive, and the stative are valency decreasing. This results in morphophonic change that is syntactic and semantic. The research is a major contribution to language revalorization. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor then to request you to confer on Tendai Chirimaunga the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Tendai Chirimaunga. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Afua Frembong Kore for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor N.P. Saurombe, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled The Role of Academic Libraries in Program Accreditation in Private Universities in Ghana, she uses a robust mixed methods approach to investigate the significant influence of academic libraries on accreditation outcomes in private higher education institutions. The research unequivocally demonstrates that well-resourced libraries are vital to enabling these institutions to meet the standards set by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, ultimately enhancing the quality of academic programs and bolstering universities' overall reputation. The study presents compelling, evidence-based recommendations, including increased funding, a commitment to digital transformation, targeted training for stakeholders, and strengthened collaboration among institutions by adopting these strategies. Private universities stand to significantly enhance their library infrastructure and elevate Ghana's higher education system to meet and exceed international standards.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Afua Frembong Kore the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Afua Frimpong Kore. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Elizabeth Hendrika Kaiser for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor C.L. Devet, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In the absence of the supervisor, I shall then proceed to read the citation. In her thesis, The Discourse and Practice of Slavery in Basil of Caesarea, she examines Basil's theological and social constructions of slavery through the framework of doulology. The study makes a valuable contribution to early Christian slavery studies by analyzing Basil's discourse on virtue formation, punishment, household management, and gendered vulnerability. By integrating Foucauldian discourse analysis with cultural historical insights, she offers a nuanced account of how slavery shaped early Christian moral and theological thought. The thesis significantly advances understanding of power, hierarchy, and marginalizations in Basil's writing. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I then have the honor to request you to confer on Elizabeth Hendrika Kaiser the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Elizabeth Hendrika Kaiser.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Lisette Vessels for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request the supervisor, Professor L. Jacobs, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
in a thesis entitled Digital Twin Information Hub, Possibilities for the Future of Information Sharing in the Metaverse, Lizette explores the potential of AI-enabled digital twins to transform information sharing within metaversities in South African academic libraries. Using a bricolage design, integrating conceptual analysis, text mining, and foresight methods, the study develops a pioneer blueprint for a digital twin information hub. Its originality lies in addressing an emerging under-researched field in the local higher education context. The findings demonstrate how digital twins can enhance accessibility, collaboration, personalized information experiences. The study provides a foundational framework for future research and practical implementation, advancing innovation in digital learning ecosystems across South African universities.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Lizette Wessels the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Lizette Wessels. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Veronica Catherine Tlongwane for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request her supervisor, Professor O.M. Lidimu, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled A Model of Organizational Justice, Employee Engagement and Retention Factors Within Public Healthcare Facilities Workforce in Tshwane District, Gauteng, Veronica Catherine Tlongwane employed a model to examine the triadic and dynamic relationships between organizational justice, employee engagement, and retention factors in the new world of work. Using a quantitative study with employees in Tshwane District healthcare facilities, the triadic relationships between the constructs, along with some moderators and mediators, were established. The implications of this finding are crucial as it highlights the importance of fostering a just organizational environment to enhance organizational justice, employee engagement, and employee retention. The study will be used as a guideline to assist organizations in addressing the challenges of organizational injustice with regard to the organizational justice system within the environment of public healthcare facilities workforce by focusing on the unique context of the Tshwane district. The findings will be relevant for policymakers and healthcare administrators seeking to improve workforce stability and ensure better healthcare service delivery. Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, Ms. Veronica is a senior academic in our college.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Veronica Catherine Klongwane the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Wait.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Veronica Catherine Klongwane. Congratulations.
Dr. Mwerani, women of influence.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Renita Sugnanan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Her supervisors were Professor Melinda Kutsie and Professor I.L. Potgieter. In the absence of her supervisors, I have the honor to read her citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled Constructing a Model for Predicting Entrepreneurial Intent, Renita investigates the psychological mechanism that influenced the formation of entrepreneurial intent among final year TVET students in KwaZulu-Natal. She empirically validates a linear and mediated prediction model that highlights how psychological capital, emotional intelligence, and entrepreneurial self-efficacy shape entrepreneurial intent. Her findings, also published in 2 scientific journals, make a significant and original contribution to South Africa's national youth development goals of promoting young adult societal integration as economically independent, employable citizens. The evidence-based framework that emanated from the research can inform career development interventions aimed at strengthening entrepreneurial readiness and resourceful career navigation in the digital age. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Renita Sugnanan the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Renita Sugnanan. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Beatrice Johannes Forster for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Professor D.J. Gelden Hayes was the supervisor. In the absence of his supervisor, I have the honor to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis entitled Towards a Work Engagement Framework, Considering Personality Traits and Basic Psychological Needs from an Organization Neuroscience Perspective, Beatrice Johannes Forster investigates how personality traits and the fulfillment of basic psychological needs jointly predict work engagement, and whether the addition of psychological needs enhances explanatory power beyond personality traits alone. He develops a novel measure of basic psychological needs grounded in neuroscience and identifies a 2-dimensional structure comprising joyful connection and autonomous mastery. The findings indicate that these needs, together with personality traits, particularly extraversion and conscientiousness significantly predict work engagement. Overall, an integrated framework incorporating personality traits and psychological needs provides a more comprehensive understanding of engagement, offering practical insights for organizations and a strong foundation for future research. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Pietres Johannes Forster the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Petros Johannes Forster.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Commerce: Adebola Ganiyu Adesina.
Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Mabidikama Puti Peter Murifi obtained the degree with distinction. Veneshan
You are coming
Veramutu.
back to study doing this, huh? Congratulations. Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, Michelle Emily Coates received the degree of Master of Information Science. The degree was obtained with distinction.
Congratulations.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Laws. Lakenis Gochana. Melezwa Clorinda Dlangamandla. Philip Mukwena. Mohale Ezekiel Lefopane. Melita Shumba. Ashin Singh. Mabatu Angela Tlale. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Arts. David Sepoka Makatu. Cynthia Shadile Mkonza. Lisivana Emmanuel Mutlake. Lucy Pell Mpotlane.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Arts in the College of Human Sciences. Ndivuno Mtetombi. That's the one.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degrees of Bachelor of Arts Honours. Prudence Letlohonolo Mathabat. Kolani Sara Novella.
Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Honours Bachelor of Education. Obakeng Motsepe. Tabisa Kapa. Bongi Geli Mahlangu. Katleho Valencia Komani. Moshao Stefina Matsibane. Neo Peter Motsepe. Andile Nogutula Zwane. Eunice Tenyeko Mantina. Nane Joseph Mohlwa. Sinenhlanhla Jabulile Duma. Lesana Zodwa Tombeni obtains the degree with distinction. Duduzile Goodness Nyawo. Kanyisile Brightness Madi Kuzwayo. Mansai Rinette Mabuani. Lebohang Telile. Juliet Zizile Jaqa, Tutuzile Constance Sithole, Hlongwane Father Mamagasi, Buitumelo Brilliance Aphane. Oh, degree obtained with distinction. Julia Telisile Sibisi, Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education. Tulisile Ndlovu, Primrose Tafadzwa Nasa, the degrees obtained with distinction. Bennett Tabiso Rapir, Hlukani Mapimele, Degma Padimayo Musonza, Lizelle Double, Impilo Central Mugabi, Rivania Govender, Nothando Nomncebo Manxele, Thandeka Zulu, Samkelisiwe Charity Dlamini, Sbusiso Emmanuel Nkosi, Brenda Nokwanda Khumalo, Laya Reka Mengel, Nobuhle Mthethwa, degree obtained with distinction. Thelma Pretty Tulisile Sithole, Gloria Ngube, Nkosingiphile Nonhlanzeko Sithole, Samkelisiwe Fundile Perseverance Kwala. Nchabeni Cynthia Mushiani.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Laws, better known as LLB, in the College of Law. Nkosi Ngiphile Ntombifuthi Ntuli, Natasha Sharma Agnew, Cornelia Kanyisa Dube, Thandi Priska Musivi, Mahobe Susan Polo, Eunice Ruchio Divetso, Johanna Lindiwe Kuzwayo, Kudzai Mupeti, Peladi Ramatovane Maputa, Tashika Mangru, Jessica van der Westhuizen, Tandeka Constance Mukwena, Itumeleng Mputle, Tendai Sanganai Mangwanyata, Pule Prosper Muhoro, Hermanas Cornelius Bernardas Obelhozer, Tuli Lilian Duba, Mbasi Mahlatse Kekana, Kaylee Ferreira, Ponzos Boniso Alice Malapane, Patuchezo Adelaide Chindane, Nombuso, Nosipho, Nomncebo Mkhatshwa. Rendani Thelma Masega. Silo Lucas Malane. Piri James Mulomo. Ntembo Lona Hobiani. Anele Repsold. Masiho Mantlane. Anna-Marie Engelbrecht. Kangwero Tiens Ratogwa. Kenneth Silo Kenny Puroe. Mukhaetsi Precious Mako. Tulisile Mushe. Jabulani Kele. Chipo Ethel Mukuku. Kamini Mudli. Mzamani Shelton Tlongwane. Makosini Gideon Makubele. Nomalanga Amanda Mbuyane. Riboningo Gabaza Mnisi. Khauhelo Pitso. Thandeka Ngumalo. Simule Angela Mahopo. Johanna Sipiwe Mahlaba. Noctula Happiness Mpofana. Nkateko Mabasa. Lisedi Charlotte Maluleke. Tinyiko Thomas Chauke. Wilfred Chirwa, Osta Mashudu Mabungu, Zinhle Ingatwaku, Stephens Pupane Mashabane, Noluthando Ndlovu, Rufuno Emmanuel Maremba, Sibongile Angelina Sipolo, Masilu Bruce Nkwana, Wonder Boy Mangaliso Dlamini, Simpiwe Brian Dubazane, Armstrong Mtembeni Mtembu, Faith Kuzai Mukuraguda, Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce in the College of Law. Moyakazi Luntukazi Mini, Sydney Mbangiso Malindi, Melanie Juanita Jones, Nangamso Nongwa, Nomathemba Petronella Mohlekwa, Johanna Raisibe Kwenaite, Kodani Madzungunya, Masana Patience Mushoti, Vanessa Ramadin, Teuho Patrick Sikonya, Nonhlanhla Letitia Nzimande, Lebuhang Violet Nkomo, Unalinna Doreen Mukobane, Vuyiswa Mimi Bomela. Matuvatse Martha Mampolo. Patricia Noluviwo Maneli. Tamiru Erigeno Gentamo.
Where's your card? Mr. Acting Vice-Chancellor, the following graduates received the Bachelor of Social Work. Mpo Thelma Mafungo. Portia Mochabejane. Belina Boitumelo Matlo. There we go. Yvonne Zatwa Makuntombi. Say it again. Makumbotsi. There we go. Sibongile. Sibongile Rosemary Ngwenya. Tembekile Jabulule Shongwe. Pumzile Precious Mukhapi. Saseka Gertrude Makambeni. Zodidi Rose Machlele Cindy. Thank you. Andisane Prudence Mboidi. Zomtombu Londiwe Ntombu. Increase Kuketsu Makubedu. Indiswa Mahokwazolo. Sorry. Lebuhang Sina Madileng.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidate will now be introduced to you. Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received
the postgraduate diploma in the Graduate School of Business Leadership. Mapuso Sandra Munyai. Basetsana Frederica Mushala.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Law. Mantata Andris Satech.
Mr. Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Loma Lungelo Dlamini. Owen Abi Mafumo.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a round of applause to our graduates? To our graduates, can you just say to your neighbor, we got it? Indeed, we want to congratulate you because many of you will know that it may not have been an easy journey, but we are very, very happy that today you walked the stage. And for us as an institution, we congratulate you. You have become a member to this big family. UNISA, University of South Africa, University of the Land. We invite you. For us, you are the partners of life, You are not the fat and sad thing. That is why when you register, we gave you my life email. Yes, because we said you and me, you and us, we are getting into my life relationship. And that email will stay with you for the rest of your life. That email address will stay with you for the rest of your life. And we welcome you to this family. Can I also request you to look the other side and say thank you? We want to say to our parents, friends, and sponsors, we appreciate your intervention and your input in their journey. If you have not been there, I don't think all of these people tonight will have walked to this stage. So we deeply appreciate you. And we are also saying, as Prof. Munyakan indicated to you, don't ever leave those people behind. Tomorrow, don't wake up and say, oh, I'm a UNISA graduate. Ke bolela sekgowa kere. Don't ever do that. And as you indicated that you have graduated from a great institution, that has been the pillar of strength for our nation in South Africa. Please carry this on your shoulders, and we trust you. We trust you. We hope that we will not find you in one of the commission, whether it's Madlanga or another commission, because that is not what UNICEF taught you. UNICEF taught you to be ethical, to be transparent, and to be responsible. We congratulate you, and we know very well deep down in our hearts that you will be responsible to yourself, you will be responsible to your family, you will be responsible to your community, and you'll be responsible to humanity. We congratulate you, and we say, carry this UNISA flag high. UNISA is now ranked as number 8 in all the public universities in South Africa. Yes, can we give a hand for that? So we are saying you didn't just come from some of the fly-by-night universities. You are coming from a reputable university with a good reputation. So carry that reputation as you go along in your journey. And we know very well that we've prepared you for any type of context, whether we find you in Miami, USA, whether we find you in Dubai, whether we find you in Zingizingi, we know you will represent this university very well. I also want to pass a congratulatory message, not only to you as graduates, but also to our committed community of academics. Can you give them a... You may think that it was only you who were not sleeping at night. They were also not sleeping on the other side because they had to give you your marks, they have to respond to your assignments. Our academics, we really appreciate your commitment to this university and your commitment to our nation and to our people. Thank you very much. This year in August, at this university, we had about 5,000 students who some of them had to graduate in September. But due to the issue of funds, they had completed their studies and they didn't have money to pay for their studies. This institution donated a sum of about 10 million to pay for those students. Indeed, those students became part of the 66,000 students that have graduated this year in this university. However, please, we are still now, as you're a UNISA graduate, you are part of this family. You are a UNISA alumni. We still got about 3,500 students who could not graduate because they could not pay their fees. So we humbly request you to join the UNISA alumni, the UNISA convocation. Even that simple 10 rand that you can donate towards this, so that these 3,500 students can graduate. They are sitting at home, frustrated, they've completed their qualification, yet they are not able to graduate. So we invite you to come to the UNISA family and assist in our mission to empower and help the other students. Once more, we want to congratulate you, and we trust that this degree, this qualification will definitely lead you into greater path. Welcome to the home of leaders. Welcome to University of South Africa. As we conclude this function tonight, for those of you who graduated with diplomas, remember you got my live email. So you are going to register very soon. Yes, we don't want to hear stories. Those of you who graduated with degrees, please, the postgraduate studies are available at UNISA. Those of you who graduated with masters, in 2 years' time, we want to see you in this front row and change that title of being Bra or Mister or so. We want you to be called a doctor. As we conclude this session, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the institution, a great institution that have strived to empower our nation and communities for the past 152 years. Congratulations and become part of our family. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we open on page 24 of our programs? And I'll request that all of us stand up and sing the national anthem. And after the national anthem, let's remain standing until the procession has left the hall. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.